much for joining us on Sunday service with the Morrisons.
Hey, tell us what the temperature is out there where you're at. Right now, we're dealing with the
50s.
high 50s, probably going down to the 40s tonight. For me, it's beautiful, but for the Georgia girl here, it's a different thing. So you go ahead and lead off, baby.
Yeah. All right. So we are talking about all things love and marriage because we feel called to speak on that because we want to help as many people as we can to understand that marriage is wonderful, number one. Number two, it's no joke. Number three, it's forever. It's in sickness and in health. And so we want to kind of share a little bit, give you some insights into our world and, talk a little bit about how we navigate a lot of things and how we actually have come to this conclusion that love is the principal thing. So if you believe that love is the principal thing, give us some hearts, give us some emojis, give us some likes. But anyway, we also want to know, where are you all tuning in from? We are tuning in from outside of Seattle, Washington. And it's still a little chilly here. I think my husband said it's in the 50s, the mid to upper 50s.
It's the high 50s.
The high 50s. So we're super excited about that. But we've seen so many different people come on here and talk a little bit about all of these topics. And so we decided that we would weigh in. And so one of the things, we met with a couple today, and it was such an amazing meeting. We had such a good time. We learned a little bit about them. They learned a little bit about us. And it was an amazing time. And so they actually were married, what'd they say, 40, 42, 43 years?
Yeah, in the 40s.
I remembered it because my parents have been married about that length of time. And so I thought, wow, this is just awesome, And what it made me think about was the fact that love is the principal thing. Love is the thing that we all want. I had a comment on one of my posts earlier this week. It was one I shared. My husband and I, we actually shared our rings. And I talked about marriage being in sickness and in health. And so somebody else actually commented on that and was saying, how beautiful that was. And I said, it really is. I said, but how many people actually take the time to actually get to that place? So many people are getting married and they're getting divorced as soon as they get married. And some of the things that we see is a lot of people, they live together for maybe 10 years and then they get married and then they get divorced in 2 or 3. So what that's telling me is that people are, number one, they're not patient. Number two, they give up too easily. Because the thing is you're going to go through things in your marriage. We all do. We all go through things in our marriage. But the thing is how do you deal with it? And how do you navigate the way forward and through it? So like if you have, like we rarely have like arguments and anything like that. Because to be honest,
We don't have arguments.
we don't have arguments. We might have a disagreement. Let's say that.
Too corny.
Yeah, but we don't really do that
Yeah.
because it's just to be honest with you. For me, it seems purposeless. It just seems like it has no purpose. It doesn't fix anything. It doesn't solve anything. What can we do with that? So that's one of the things that we want to talk about as well. We want to try to be encouragement for people, to take their time, to hold on, also to consider and think about, long-term effects. A lot of times people will make long-term decisions based on short-term problems or issues or drama or trauma or whatever. But it's something that is going to pass. So you don't really need to make a decision about it. And so those are things that we have learned over our lifetime. And so when we came together, that's something that we both are down with. So we know that, you have conversations and you have discussions, but you don't have arguments. And I always think about this. I told a young lady recently some advice. She was getting married, and I said, don't go to bed angry. Don't do it. Just don't. If you're angry, talk it out. Pray it out, sing it out, dance it out. But do something to get it out so that you're not taking that to bed with you. And y'all aren't stewing on it all through the night and having nightmares about it and shit. Because that's something that people do. And so we typically don't. What you want to say about it, baby?
We also accept the fact that we are different. A
We
lot
love it,
of people
actually.
try to marry their equal, and it's no such thing as marrying somebody that's totally equal. We accept our differences, um, and we've heard people also say, "I don't even know you," as their spouse. And you're going to find out different things and new things as you go through marriage. Uh, um, as you stretch that out, you're going to find out things that you didn't know before. And it's not because a person hid anything from you. Even Tammy said the other day, and she don't know I heard it because she said it so quickly. I think we were watching something. She said, we was watching a show, and I think somebody didn't share something with their spouse. She said, it's something I got to share with you, but I'm all right if she feels like sharing or she don't. I once was in a relationship where we went back and we shared our past, and it's supposed to be non-judgmental, but you have to be careful with that.
Yeah.
It is your partner, or do you have the type of partner that will accept the um, the things of your past? It's not always. Tammy's trying to feed me chocolate. It's not always a good thing to share the past. The past is the past. We've all grown up with people that say, if this person had this many partners before me, or they did this before me, they're not the person from me. But our past is wiped away. I strongly believe the price was paid for through blood. But at the same time, if we can uh, uh, see and accept those differences, and know that those differences aren't going to always agree,
Right.
and we can keep out of our relationship. We talked about this in one of our other podcasts. Our relationship, I love you, but I love you as long as you don't.
Mm-hmm.
Love is
Conditions.
yeah, love is unconditional.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, we just have to say I love you,
Mm-hmm.
and sometimes that do come with something that says, okay, I'm gonna love you regardless, but you have to stop doing this. But even be careful with that, because if you put demands, you putting that person, or you putting yourself up against the wall. I love you, period, and everything around that is a discussion.
Yeah.
Discussions need to be held, and I learned from being retired Navy. Be slow to speak, quick to listen, because one thing, when you work for the government, you always have somebody higher than you somewhere, so you learn how to accept that. Slow to speak, quick to listen, because you have 2 ears for a reason, and once you once you speak something out, you can't take it back.
Right.
Life and death is in the power of the tongue.
Absolutely. And the thing about that is, I believe that if we will just take our time, we'll just take our time and we'll actually learn how to love one another. Because here's the thing. We weren't born knowing how to love each other. We weren't born with that. Many times I truly believe that, because this man loves God so much, that God taught him how to love me. Because I know that everybody has a particular way that they want to be loved. We all do. You don't want to be loved the same way as Sally Sue. or the same way as Elizabeth or somebody. You don't want to be loved in that way. You have a particular way that you need to be loved. And so what I truly believe is that when the person loves God, then God will teach them how to love you. And it's such an amazing thing when you see that, when you begin to, be motivated in that way. Um, it helps your relationship, I truly believe. And I know that it has helped ours because, that was one of the things that I knew. And I actually do share that a lot of times when I speak and I talk about, my ex-husband. I say he just didn't know how to love me. I'm not going to bash him. I'm not going to talk bad about him or negative or anything. I'm just going to say that he just didn't have a clue on how to love me. And so that is one of the things that when I was talking to God about a relationship and a husband, that was one of the things I said. I said, I need a man that, knows how to love me.
I'm chilly, so I know she's chilly.
Just like that. So if you are out there and you are, at this place where you're looking for somebody, to love or somebody to love you and all that stuff, one of the things I can tell you is to learn how to love yourself. And then also when you put in your order, because we all put our orders in regardless of whether we know it or not. We manifest every single day, most of the time not consciously. And that's why you get the shit you get. But when you begin to manifest consciously and you begin to put it out there to God, to source, to the universe, that this is what I desire and this is what I'm going to have. And I'm not going to back down from that. I'm not going to, I'm going to continue to stand on that. And this is what I desire. And so once you begin to do that and you do that, and then that person shows up for you, then the next thing you got to do is be your authentic self, the person that God made you and the person that they fell in love with, and also always remember that, because a lot of times what I'm noticing with these people that, they get married in 2 years, they get divorced. I'm like, that's not even enough time to really even get to know anybody, to be honest with you, because there were things that we have been learning about each other as we've gone along. And I think it's amazing and beautiful, but everybody don't see it like that. What do you think, honey?
That's true. The patience part is the part I always go back to. The the disagreements are small. Um, if you
Because he ignores me.
she don't know. I never ignore her, but I know when to shut up and be slow to speak. And that's what I do. I practice patience a lot, and for me, it's easy with Tammy. She's easy to love. She's got a kind heart. She's everything in a person, in a wife, a person, a friend, a mentor that you could ask for. So I listen to her wisdom. I listen to her wisdom. I respect her. I uphold her in any way possible. So that said, um, it's just for me it's easy, and if you're in that kind of relationship, that's the kind of relationship you should be in. It should be easy. It shouldn't be a struggle.
Right.
Um, if it is, maybe you can work it through. Maybe you can't. Um, but I say before you let go, don't share all your business outside your relationship because you'll forgive each other, but everybody won't forgive you, regardless whether it's family or what have you.
Grandma used to say, don't put your business in the street.
Right. If I tell on Tammy or Tammy tell on me to family or friends, we'll be over it so quick, but they won't,
Right.
and so these are the things you want to pay attention to.
They're still not wanting to forgive, and we have gotten over it like,
Right.
immediately.
right.
Because I believe forgiveness is one of those things that you need to do quickly.
Right. And that said, we're in the midst of doing our Sunday night laundry, and we'd like to know where you shouting out from. What's the weather like there? Again, it's in the high 50s here.
Chili and spring.
I love it. It's green. It's green outside of Seattle. It rain here like people think. Um,
See, because it's not raining now. It
right,
actually was sunny today
right.
and beautiful.
And we have the most water I've ever seen in any parts of the world surrounding here. The most for islands. I just love everything about the state. So I'm so with it, and the greenery is beautiful. So keep the hearts and love coming. Let us know what you want to talk about, what you want to hear
Yeah.
in the future. Where you're listening from.
And send us messages. You can message us on wherever you're watching it. If you're on YouTube, you can just comment, and I do try to check the comments. And on TikTok, you can just message.
Keep the love flowing.
Facebook, same thing. You can Google me and look and see what kind of things I do. I have I have some amazing sessions that I am just starting because I want to incorporate the Bach flower remedies into some of my healing sessions. So if that is something that you are interested in and you're looking, send me a message and we can connect and talk about how to get you where you need to be.
That said, keep the love flowing, keep the hearts, keep the gifts flowing. We appreciate you. We appreciate you checking in. We appreciate the messages.
We do.
We appreciate the insight. Um, we're not paid counselors, but we are counselors um, from life experiences, and believe me, that
We got to start on marital life coaching, baby.
yeah, between the two of us, we definitely have at least 40 years plus. So
Yeah, so we can we
yeah,
can speak to almost anything.
yeah, and counting even the relationships we had in between, we've been through it,
We've learned a lot,
and we've learned a lot.
and we wanted to, we want to share it,
Yeah,
So that's one of the reasons why we decided to come on here and talk and do Sunday service, because we know a lot of people aren't having Sunday service. And so we want to come on and just share a little bit about love and marriage, especially because we believe in marriage. It's an institution. We believe in it. And, we want to encourage other people to continue to believe in the institution of marriage, because it really is an amazing thing.
find out what your partner like, your significant other.
Love language.
Yeah, the love language. Mine is touch and water, and we up here because both of us love the water, so we constantly try to find the beaches and the lakes and the streams and the rivers and whatever exists. Even sometimes just jumping in the pool, right?
And what's my love language?
Your love language, your love language. Besides water,
What is it?
besides water,
Yeah, besides water.
besides water. Oh, travel. I had to think on that, but we that's something we do whenever Tammy's feeling a little something something. We get up and go. Sometimes we wind up jumping in our vehicle, traveling 3 days across the country, 3 or 4 days, and sometimes we just take a flight, and she be like, "Well, that's only 500 miles away. We could have drove there." And I said, "Well, let's just fly," because we love driving. We love it for more reasons than you can imagine.
Yep.
We have TSA pre-check,
So much more peaceful, though.
and sometimes they still take us through. So
Yeah.
we're looking into private flights and all of that stuff.
Yeah.
Not to waste money, but just to have the peace.
Just peace.
Peace is priceless for us.
It's priceless.
So that's said.
Because, when they try to treat you like a criminal, that's when you know you got to do something different because you ain't a criminal. But with that said, we thank y'all for joining us for Sunday service with the Morrisons. We'll be back next Sunday, probably on these same channels. If it's pretty outside, we'll probably do it outside again, right?
Yeah, we'll play it by ear.
Yeah, if it's pretty outside, we'll do it outside. If not, then we'll be in the house and we'll do it the regular
We
places.
still might be in the house because we get laid back like that sometimes. We don't put no demands on our life.
we try to stay away from pressure, and I think
Yeah.
that makes a difference too.
Yeah.
Stress and all that good shit. So yeah, so you know, definitely you want to stay away from stress and pressure and all that kind of stuff. So anyway, thank you so much for joining us. We have enjoyed it. We hope that you guys have, and we thank you for all the gifts, the hearts, the likes, the loves, and all that stuff. And thank you for being here, just listening to us tonight. So thank you so much, and we hope that you come back again and join us on next Sunday. And make sure that you smash the subscribe button, and the follow button, and the likes, and share it out so that other people can actually listen to it as well. So thank you for joining us. Have a good night. Bye now.